Welcome to Destination Deanna. I'm Deanna, love guide to all and kept wife strategist to the women I'm called to serve. Please consider my channel your self-help learning library for love. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time for our weekly coaching gem, where I give guidance to elevate your love experience. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m., tune in for Sounds About Wife, where I give my unique wife perspective and prepare professional women like you to become kept wives. So hit that subscribe button and let's start this love journey together. See you soon, my loves.
Welcome. Welcome to episode 9 of Sounds About Wife. Please excuse my deepened tone. I'm not feeling my absolute best, but I'm excited to be here. Okay, so for those of you who are new and you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Deanna. I am love guide to all, but kept wife strategist to those I am called to serve. On Mondays, I do a weekly coaching gem that is a general love lesson, but on Wednesdays, it is specifically wife talk here on Sounds About Wife. So the lessons on Wednesdays are catered to the demographic of women who are already wives or women who are in preparation to becoming kept wives. So welcome here to the Keptyverse. I'm so glad to have you. This week, we are on episode 9 of Sounds About Wife, and our topic is the sacred power of rest. And the subtopic, we know why we want to know, right? We want to up level. We want to make sure that we are resting, but the subtext to this text is why a keeper values when his wife recharges. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And I see I already got some comments going. Y'all, I'm in the process of moving. I don't have my mouse, so please bear with me as I'm working the laptop today. Hey, Carly, I'm so glad that you made it today. I know you're usually busy at work. Hey, Ashley, one of my Kepties. Hey, boo. Dawn is here, another one of my Kepties. Alice is here, another one of my Kepties, front and center. See, they are always making sure that they are here and getting their wife talk on, okay? So for today's lesson, I always like to start off with what I call my treasure, right? On Monday, I give you the gems for your growing crown. Well, I'm going to share my treasure. And this is basically like a personal share that's related to the topic. It lets you know why I'm directly related to it. Like, why does this even matter to me? Why do I feel strongly about this lesson? And what is my connection to it? So, I'm never talking at you. I'm like having the conversation with you. Okay. So, I'm like a reformed go-getter, right? I used to think that staying productive, like around the clock, always doing something, that was the best way to show my value, right? But over time, and especially in my journey to becoming a kept wife, right? I learned the true feminine power and how it involves knowing when to rest, right? Because with rest, I'm able to keep my priorities in order, right? Which is God, husband, children, and then purpose, right? So when I rest, my bucket is filled, and that allows me to be my best, but also to give my best in each of these areas without feeling drained. That's what's so important, right? Rest has literally become like my superpower, right? It's allowed me to stay connected with God and show up fully for my husband, my children, my clients, everyone that I love and I support. Now, what's the juicy details? So my keeper husband, Will, who I'm sure will be joining on, he literally just called me and had prayer with me. A few weeks back, he noticed that I was creeping back into that overwork, overextend myself, not get enough rest. Like, he noticed it. He noticed it starting to creep in. And, it's the end of the year. I'm trying to finish strong. I got all these things I want to do with my kepties. I'm planning for 2025. Like, I'm on go, go, go. And I also have my own personal goals, right? So one of them is, just making sure that I'm staying fit. I'm getting fitter. I'm healthier. So I've been focusing on, shedding some of this like winter, this extra like love, honeymoon years, weight, all of that stuff, right? And I was kind of overdoing it. And my husband challenged me. He actually said, baby, instead of like doing what you normally do, which is, take on an extra workout or do an extra video or create extra content or take on an extra client or do an extra activity with the kids. Like, instead of adding on more, I want to challenge you. Whenever you get that kind of urge, like, I need to do more, I want you to take a nap. I don't care if it's 15 minutes. I don't care if it's 20 minutes. I don't care if it's an hour, whatever it is. But I just want you to try this. Like, try it for a week. Just whenever you think of adding something else to your plate, this is like beyond what you're already doing. Whenever you think to do that, whenever you're trying to go above and beyond, do extra, I want you to take a nap. And when he first said this, I was like, oh, that's easy. Like, whatever. Okay, cool. One day in, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. Like, I started thinking about all the things I could be doing and like how I was wasting time and like all of this stuff. And he just kept encouraging me. Did you take your nap today? Or did you make an extra video? Did you take your nap today, or did you create an extra email? Did you take your nap today, or did you do an extra call? Did you take your nap today? Like, he was on me about it. So I embraced it. A week later, let me tell you, within just a week, my skin was breaking out. It had already started clearing up. I don't have no makeup on right now. I'm not saying that my skin is perfect, but I have no makeup on, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And my face was peeling. I was like, it was ridiculous. My skin started clearing up. I was drinking my water more easily. I was actually having better quality sleep and meeting my sleep goals. I was eating less. I was feeling lighter. My clothes were fitting better. I just felt more mental clarity. Like, all of these benefits I was feeling. And this is a week. Just a week of like incorporating taking some naps instead of doing something extra. So I'll tell you more about what I did with that, but that was my example. Like, wow, rest really does matter. It really does matter. And you can really feel the impact and effects of it if you take it seriously. Yes. Okay, my baby is here. Hey, baby. Ashley, I love it. Yep. I love a nap. Yes. Carly says, I love a nap and has stopped. I'm inching back due to your promptings. Listen, avid napper. Not even playing about it. Avid napper. Okay. So listen. So from there, right, it just reminded me of how necessary rest was. Also, it reminded me of like how important my rest is to my husband. Like, I realized it was giving him anxiety to see me so wound up all the time, to see me rushing from thing to thing, to see me not taking advantage, like taking full advantage of the fact that I'm kept and I don't have to do all of the things that I was making myself do. Like, and I'm very clear about that, like making myself do, because it was not a requirement of me, right? So let's be very clear about that. Okay. So, excuse me, y'all. Like, my fingers are a little so it's taking me a little bit longer to move the stuff. Okay, so let's get to today's treasure, which is the lesson. Okay, this is the core lesson and why this matters. If you are going to take notes, here is where you would take notes on the lesson. Okay, so the lesson is basically like the benefits of rest. I'm also going to give you accompanying scriptures. So if you need the word of God to back this up, if you need to be able to have something to anchor yourself in this, I have the scriptures for it as well. So you can go back, you can meditate on your scriptures, you can ask God to hide it in your heart so that it becomes a way of life for you. Okay? So number one, rest as a biblical principle. It's a biblical principle to rest. Rest is foundational. Okay, it's established by God himself, herself, itself, God. After creating the world, he rested on the seventh day, setting an example that rest is not only permissible, but sacred and necessary, right? So your scripture for this is Genesis 2 and 3. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy. So what should we take from this? I don't know what you believe. You know that here we believe in God. God is foundational here, and we use the Bible, right? Bible as a foundational text. We use it to govern our life, right? So God is telling us rest is required. After all of the work is done, there needs to be a period of rest. So embracing rest actually honors the divine example that God is showing. And we trust God's design, right, for balance. So we should trust God's instruction about rest. Okay? I encourage you, take a day of Sabbath. We honor the Sabbath in our marriage and our family on Saturdays, and we don't do any work. And it has been great. It has been great for our marriage. It has been awesome for my business as well. So that's number one. Number one, rest as a biblical principle. Yes, God required it. Absolutely. Number two, rest increases feminine energy. Now, I know a lot of us are like deep into our feminine journey, and we are actively pursuing mastery of our own femininity. Let me tell you how rest helps with that. Rest allows women to recharge emotionally, spiritually, and physically. This recharge is actually what fuels our feminine energy. It helps us bring grace, calm, and confidence into our marriage and our home. Think about it. What happens when you haven't had a nap? When you haven't had adequate sleep? You're less patient. You're probably less kind. You're less on your toes. You're probably rushing. You're probably forgetful. All things that work against your feminine default. So rest is necessary. It is going to naturally help you be able to increase your feminine energy. I have a scripture for this too. Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. So Jesus emphasizes that rest rejuvenates your spirit. It allows us to approach our relationships with a more peaceful heart. And what's a deeper insight about this, right? We know that feminine energy, it aids in us being able to stay connected to our feminine currency, which is what we're going to give our keepers. So listen, from that aspect, a keeper delights delights, okay, in seeing his wife at ease, because he knows it allows her to be her best self. And I don't got a nice way to say this. This just is what it is. What man works diligently to provide a certain lifestyle where his woman doesn't have to work in order to provide, in order to chip in and pay the bills, to see her overworking, to see her not well rested? What man does that? So when you think of it like this, if you want to keep her husband, you want someone to provide for you on a level in which that you get to choose to work and choose to be in purpose. It is not a necessity. You have to bear that in mind, that your keeper husband don't want to see you overworking when you don't have to work in the first place. So listen, we're doing the work now to choose right, so that you choose to keep her husband, right? So you are afforded the choice to work or not work, and that it's not out of necessity. So make sure that you are positioned to appreciate that and take full advantage of the blessing. I myself have needed this reminder, and here's my husband. Yes, the ease is a flex. The ease is a flex. You know, the ease of a man's woman, that's the flex. My wife don't gotta work. My wife get to do what she want. My wife is always looking well rested, relaxed, happy, smiling, right? It's a flex, ultimate flex. So number 3, rest improves marriage quality, right? When a kept wife takes time to rest, she can be emotionally present, fully engaged, and attuned to her husband's needs. Think about it. When your needs are met, when you have enough energy, when you are taken care of, when you are feeling good, when you're well rested, you are more likely to delight in caring for your husband. You are more likely to be excited about catering to him and taking care of him, right? You are in a better position to do that and do it from a place of joy and happiness, not out of duty, okay? So according to the Journal of Marriage and Family Therapy, couples who prioritize self-care, including regular rest, report 25% higher marital satisfaction. So even the numbers prove that couples who are making sure they get proper rest, they're more satisfied in their marriage. You know why? They have more to give. And they're giving it happily because they're not depleted, right? Regular rest improves emotional availability. I know, ladies, we're always talking about that. Like, the money is nice, but we already know financial provision, that's the basis, right? That's at the bottom floor level. Emotional intelligence and availability, we want more of that, right? That is what strengthens the connection between spouses. So when you're rested, you bring more presence and warmth to your marriage, which benefits both you and your keeper, right? My husband has already said it, you know, ease and rest, that's the flow. A keeper wants his kepy well rested, so she has energy and capacity for being present in life and in love with him. If she's overworked, if she's tired, if she's not rested, she's not going to be that present for him, right? And he has afforded her the option to rest, to be more available for him, right? And remember this is what kind of keeps me in check too, right? A wife is a husband's blessing. He wants to enjoy his blessing. He doesn't just want to have a wife to have one. He's done his due diligence to choose wisely. He's positioned himself greatly so that he can provide in a way that you don't have to work to partner in him with providing. He wants to enjoy you. He wants to enjoy you. And the best way for him to be able to enjoy you is when you're happy, when you're in a good space, when you're at ease, when you're rested, not stressed. So if you're tired, not rested, not feeling your best, you're not going to be able to support full enjoyment of each other. Number 4, rest as a foundation for prioritization, right? Prioritization. Oh God, like, come on. There we go. Like, my thing just will not cooperate. Here we go. Okay. So rest as a foundation for prioritization. What does this mean? Rest allows us to stay grounded in our priorities. When you are not rested, you are forgetful, right? You're not as mindful. You're not as organized. You can easily forget what you have going on. It's harder to manage, right? But when you're rested, you're grounded in your priorities. So you're gonna keep God first. You're gonna be in your word. You're gonna be praying. You're gonna be meditating. Then you're gonna prioritize your husband. You're gonna do what you need for him, right? Then it's gonna be your children. You're gonna be managing that. You're gonna have enough to give to them. You're gonna be in a good mood. You're gonna be patient, right? And then your purpose, whatever your purpose is, whether that is in your season of life where you're dedicated to your family, or whether that is your business that you're building, or you could be in a season where your purpose is yourself. You could be making yourself over. You could be doing a bunch of things, whatever your purpose is, right? When we are well rested, we don't rush or sacrifice what's most important. We keep the main things, and we keep our priorities, right? So we live intentionally with grace, and we reflect our priorities in every choice. This is what we do when we're rested. So what's the scripture to support this? Well, Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. So resting allows us to tune into God's guidance and align our lives with his order, helping us honor our responsibilities without feeling overwhelmed. It's so important, right? There's a lot to manage. And as a wife, it is a high calling, right? It is a ministry in itself. There's a lot going on. And if you want to do it well, you need God's help. Ooh. If you want to do it well, you need God's help. His wife needs the link. Come on now. Hold on. I'm sorry. I missed the comments. I'm doing rideshare right now. Just dropped the passenger off and he kept saying, this lady is right. My wife and my mom need to rest. Thank you so much. His wife needs the link. Yes. Yes. I rested yesterday and I feel refreshed. Aren't you so much better? Can't you go about your business even better the next day once you've done that? Right? I'm still not at 100%, but because I took the time to go to bed earlier yesterday, I took a nap during the day yesterday, I feel at least 50% better than I did yesterday just from doing that, right? Yep, obedience is better than sacrifice. Amen. Come on now. Come on, my capties. So, number 5, this is the final one, right? Rest benefits your purpose and business intentions. I know all my kepties own a business. They're business women, right? We're kept wives, aspiring kept wives, and business owners, right? So rest doesn't just support your marriage. That's great. That's our primary focus. I got that out the way first. But we are not going to neglect that we are professional women. We are business owners, right? So rest also fuels your ability to pursue personal goals and business intentions with greater clarity and energy. Think about it. When you're doing things for your business and you're tired, because you have the grace of God and the gift of genius that he's put in you, you can still get it done. You can still come up with great ideas and all of that. But when you've taken rest, when you've been off for a few days, don't you come back with a renewed energy? Don't you come back with even greater ideas, right? A rested mind is a creative and productive one, right? It allows you to bring your best ideas forward and execute them with more efficiency, okay? And remember, no keeper provides so that his wife ends up exhausted. That's the complete opposite of why he has positioned himself this way to keep his wife, right? He delights in seeing her well-rested and vibrant, even in her business. He does not want to see her overworked and stressed in her business, because guess what? Her business is purpose. It is because she loves it. It is because she wants to serve others. It is not because she got to help pay the mortgage. So if something got to go, he going to be like, put that work down. Take your nap. Go have your spa day. Go meet up with the other kepties. He's not going to say, go spend another hour working on your business. Okay? And what's the statistic to support this? The American Psychological Association reports that those who incorporate regular rest are 30% more effective in personal and professional roles. So in the Keptiverse, this translates to being able to fulfill your purpose and goals with more impact and less stress, more ease, more flow. Okay? Look at that. So Alice said it. Yes, I feel amazing and the ideas are flowing because you have mental clarity. Like often when we talk about rest too, this ain't even in my notes, but it just came to me. When we talk about rest, we think about the physicality of it, right? Like I'm going to lay down. I'm not going to do anything physically. But your mind, your brain also needs a break. And your brain doesn't get that while you're doing. While you're doing a bunch of things, your brain does not get that. So the act of you not doing and sitting down and just allowing your brain to not think, not be formulating more tasks and different things like that, it allows you to clear out fog and have more mental clarity. And you need that. You're going to have better ideas. You're going to be more effective. So we always talk about our kepti lens, right? And our kepti lens, because we're not commoners, okay? The commoners are out there. They are common people doing common things, getting common results. This is the no commoner zone. This is the Keptiverse, the Kepti kingdom. Okay, so we have a different lens. And this is our mindset. So this is the perspective shift that I would like to encourage you to have, right? See rest not as falling behind, not as being lazy, not as not doing, but see it as an investment in your marriage, an investment in your family, an investment in your business, an investment in your purpose, an investment in your overall well-being. Rest is a form of strength that I encourage here. Okay? Recharging you is going to allow yourself to show up fully feminine at that. A rested woman is a more easily feminine woman. Okay? So when we rest, we can show our keepers, for those who are aspiring, that we honor his provision, right? By taking our time to live in ease, live in flow, recharge, and not overwork ourselves, right? Rest in this context becomes a demonstration of self-worth, self-respect, self-love, self-empowerment, right? We're creating a foundation where we thrive. We thrive. We're not hustle culture here. We're not overworkers here. We are feminine. We are flow. We are rest. We are ease. We are accept. We are allow. We are kept. Okay? Yes, an investment. Absolutely. So now, to tie it all together, right? Let's keep in mind I'm always going to give you what to consider, right? What to consider. And here is the kepy consideration. Again, this is the kepy verse. Everything that I'm saying is for my kept wives and those aspiring to be. If you want to hustle your way to the top, if you believe in 50-50, if you think your value is in paying half the bills and all of that, this ain't the channel for you. This ain't the channel for you. Don't even waste your time. But for my kepties, this is what I'd like you to consider. For my already marrieds, okay? Number 1, do I prioritize rest as a way to recharge for my husband, family, and purpose? Do I prioritize rest as a way to recharge for my husband, family, and purpose? Where can I improve? Because we can always improve. Where can I improve? Number 2, how does my current view of rest align with my relationship priorities? Which for a kepty, it should be God, husband, children, and purpose. How does my current view of rest align with my relationship priorities? God, husband, children, and purpose. And number 3, final one for my already marrieds. Do I view rest as an act of strength and self-worth? Or do I feel guilty when I slow down? Do I view rest as an act of strength and self-worth? Or do I feel guilty when I slow down? How might a change in mindset benefit my marriage? Now for my kepties who are desiring marriage, preparing for marriage. Number 1, what beliefs do I currently hold about rest? And how might they impact my future role as a kept wife? What beliefs do I currently hold about rest? And how might they impact my future role as a kept wife? Number 2, and this is for my kepties who are desiring marriage, who are preparing for marriage. How can I start prioritizing rest now so that it becomes a natural part of my life when I'm married? How can I start prioritizing rest now so that it becomes a natural part of my life when I'm married? And this is the final one. In what ways can I prepare myself to embrace rest as a way to honor my future marriage, ensuring I bring my best self to my husband and family? In what ways can I prepare myself to embrace rest as a way to honor my future marriage, ensuring I bring my best self to my husband and family? So that's the kepty considerations, right? Those are the things I want you to consider. If next level, you know I'm a journaler, I encourage you to journal about those things. If you missed them, go back and rewatch it. Now I'm going to leave you with the strategy. So I've given you the lesson. I've told you about the kepty lens, how I would encourage you to see this. Well, now what's the strategy? How can you incorporate rest into your life now? What are the things you can do now? I have 2 things to do for my marrieds and 2 things for those desiring and preparing for marriage. Okay? So the kepty strategy. Okay, these are your practical tips. This is how you put the lesson to work now. For those who are already married, number 1, create intentional rest days. So dedicate a specific day or time. If you can't do a day yet, start where you can start, but start. Dedicate a specific day or time each week to recharge fully. During this time, don't take on household tasks or responsibilities. This is so important. This is your time to either connect with God, restore yourself, and prepare to come back ready to your family. That's what this time is for. Just to connect with God and restore yourself. That's it. That can be a nap. That can be sitting in silence. That can be praying, meditating. But it is a dedicated time for rest, okay? Intentionally. And the second thing is, I want you to communicate with your keeper. So let your husband know why rest is important to you and how it will benefit your marriage. I feel this tug. Even if you don't feel encouraged in this area of rest. So even if you happen to be in a marriage where maybe the division of labor isn't as shared, maybe you're not in a situation where your husband is fully providing, maybe it is a financial situation where you are sharing the financial responsibilities right now, do not be discouraged. Okay, do not be discouraged in that. I want you to take this as a step in the right direction. Let your husband know that you believe in prioritizing rest and being able to incorporate more ease and flow. You will be more available to him. Go back and watch my video about how to get what you want from your man, how to get anything you want from your man. You want to be thinking about your timing when you do this. You want to be thinking about your tone when you do this. And you want to think about what is in it for him. That's how you want to communicate it. Okay? That's how it's going to be effective when you have this conversation with him. But I felt called. Be encouraged. Even if this is not ideal, even if you don't feel the support right now, this is going to be a step towards having more support in that area of rest. Okay, so that's for my already marrieds. For my kepties desiring marriage, who are preparing for marriage, I have 2 things for you. Establish a rest routine now. Okay, so practice regular rest and self-care so that these habits are already in place when you enter into marriage. So whether that's creating a Sabbath, whether that's having a self-love hour, daily, weekly, whatever it is. Create your habit now so it exists and can just easily continue once you have your keeper. Okay? If you know how to rest, it will be that much easier to incorporate as things get added onto your plate. Okay? Number 2, set boundaries to protect rest. Learn to set boundaries that protect your time for rest. So whether that's saying no so that you're not overextending yourself, that's saying no to extra work, to friend gatherings, to social media time, to whatever it is that's draining your time. Saying no to that and setting aside the personal time each week, whether that's putting it on your calendar, right? Scheduling it. So it's just like a meeting. It's something that you have to do. These boundaries are not only going to strengthen your sense of self-worth, but they also prepare you for marriage where rest is valued and a protected priority. You often hear women say that they lost themselves in marriage. I was one of those women. And what I realize is that it's because I did not have proper boundaries with myself before marriage. So marriage is a magnifier. It's only going to magnify what you struggled with before. But because you have a spouse and they're a mirror, you're going to see it much faster. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be all of the things. So you're going to feel like, oh, it's marriage that's doing this, but it's not. Marriage is just the mirror and the magnifier of what was already existing there. So that's why, as a kepy, your preparation is to work all of that stuff out now before the keeper comes along, so you don't have these things come up in your marriage. So that is the strategy, right? That is the lesson. Now let me open it up for kepy chat. Here is where you can leave your comments. You can ask questions. And I would be delighted to answer them. Carly loves that. She loves when I hit the low leveling. Come on, baby. You say this all the time too. When you stay ready, you never have to get ready. So you want to practice these things while you're not married so that they are second nature when you are, right? So I'm going to give you all a few minutes, type in your questions or your comments. And while you do that, I am just going to make an invitation to you, right? If you would like to further this lesson in rest, right? I right now am in the midst of the 75 flow challenge. And this challenge actually was created after that week of rest that my husband challenged me to. It became so apparent to me, like, I know, not that I got it all figured out, but I'm a coach, I'm a guide, I'm pretty successful. So I know if I'm struggling with something, I pretty much know there's other people out there that's having a little bit of difficulty in that area. So I said, you know what? I'm sure lots of ladies out there could use a challenge that could help them focus on flowing, that could help them being more at ease, that could help them incorporate more rest into their day, into their habits, right? So I created the 75 flow challenge. In this challenge, it literally is taking an hour a day for yourself. You know, a few minutes for prayer, a few minutes for journaling, and you're just journaling your observations, a few minutes for feminine flow. You're dedicating some time to watching a feminine lesson, reading about a feminine woman, observing another feminine woman, focusing on feminine movement, something to build up your feminine flow, right? And then moving your body, but more like not strenuous working out, pumping the iron. You can do that, but it's more about flow, ease, being aware of your body and how it's moving and how it's feeling. And obviously, water represents flow, so drinking water. And we are in the midst of 75 days of it. Today is day 31. So we're almost halfway through. But it doesn't matter. Whenever you hear the message, that's when the message is for you. If you would like to join me and the rest of my subbies as we are developing this habit of flow through spending 75 days together where we focus on this, you can subscribe to my Facebook page. So go on Facebook, Destination Deanna. That's me, Deanna Washington. Hit the subscribe button. It is 99 cents a month. Invest in yourself. Join us, right? It began on October 7th. We have 44 more days. So that is more than enough to create a habit of flow for yourself. We'll be doing this until December 20th. And then the following week, oh my goodness, the event that I'm going to have to celebrate and end the year and begin 2025 is going to be awesome. Stay tuned for that. But join us. Okay, so that's the invitation. I do not see any comments or questions. And as you know, I'm tooting my own horn. When I don't see questions, when I don't see comments, I'm like, great job, Deanna. You must have knocked it out the park. They got the lesson. They're getting ready to go and implement. So I feel awesome about that. Thank you so much for your time, for being here. Let me just say, kept wives are prepared women. And prepared women have strategy. I see one comment came in, toot away. Thank you, Ashley. My keppies are the best. What are you talking about? Fellas, you better get in these comments and get you a kepi. So, kept wives are prepared women. Now y'all want to put comment toot all day. Ready to implement. That's what I'm talking about. My keppies take action. They don't just be here to be here. They be taking notes and ready to go put it into action. She said ready to implement. Go ahead, Alice. Toot all day. Toot. So yes, I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in and for making this so fun. I'm about to log off, eat my salad, and get a little cat nap in before I pick up my kids. But kept wives are prepared women. Prepared women have strategy. And if you want the winning strategy, you come to the Kept Wife Strategist. I see you all next week for the next episode of Sounds About Wife.